It seems like the only movie that did well this year was Barbie. It seemed like nothing was going to work out of any of these big major woke corporations. Now Barbie tried to hide it in the messaging, in the whole trailer and all that. They hid their agenda very well. Their sort of feminist deal, and unfortunately, like for them, they were so incompetent with the movie that they made feminism look stupid throughout the movie, and actually made the Kens the heroes of the movie by accident when they were trying to make the Kens look like the stupid males, like they always do in every film these days. With it, of course, they had this like spiral of women wanting to go see this movie with their kids, their grandmas, and all that, just because the toys have been something that's nostalgic throughout a generation. It worked really well, and was the aesthetic of Margot Robbie, who's a beautiful, beautiful blonde lady, and with Ryan Gosling, who's a beautiful, beautiful blonde man. People wanted to see this. It actually reminded them of the star-studded Hollywood of old in a way that, even though it was a silly, ridiculous film, it had that kind of aesthetic and it had that kind of star power to it, something that a lot of movies don't have these days. If you look at the movies that they're casting, the people they're casting, and they're not even pretty anymore. It's like they're trying intentionally not to put beauty in front of you with Hollywood, but that's another story. So it did very well, and of course Hasbro and all these companies are going to want to have sequels after sequels and just burn it into the ground like they do everything else. But if you watch the film, like, there's really no reason to have a sequel. I mean, they ended it. Barbie became a real woman with a real vagina, unlike the trans people that they're trying to push as women these days, which will never be a real woman. But that was the end of the film. And it's like, what are you going to do from there? There's no Barbie anymore. It was it's a stupid thing, but what can you do? And so Margot Robbie kind of agrees with this, and we're going to get to this in just a moment. My name is John Delarose. I comment on culture. I write for PJ Media. I write for Bounding Into Comics. A lot of these YouTubers out there just read my articles. And of course, the people who write the articles and actually come up with the news a lot of the time never actually get the attention. It's really sad, but I hope you're happy here, and I hope you'll stay with us. And I would love for you to subscribe, join our community, leave comments, and interact. It's awesome over here, and I appreciate you guys for being there. So check it out. So here it is. Margot Robbie doesn't seem too keen on the idea of Barbie 2. This is amazing. So she says, I think we put everything into this one. And if you look at what happened here, she gave an interview with the Associated Press on this matter. And she says that she's casting doubt on Barbie having a sequel. She really doesn't want to do it, despite the fact that it was a major financial success. This is funny to me because to me, what this tells me is Margot Robbie did not really enjoy doing this because it's a silly film that doesn't, really give her acting accolades with the elites and all that. And on top of it, she made enough FU money to where she just doesn't have to. Now, that's a big deal because a lot of actors are just really hungry for those sequels because they don't quite make it there to have that kind of FU money. But Margot Robbie's got it now, is what it's coming down into. She believes they invested all in Barbie and didn't plan for a trilogy. If you look at the way that this is done, they did not plan for a sequel whatsoever. It doesn't set up for a sequel. It's done. Everybody's had their arcs. It really would be difficult for a writer to come in and do a sequel well. And I think that's going to be a problem here with the actors who, if they go into something that's a terrible film for a sequel, they're not going to want to do it going forward because it'll make them look bad at the end of the day. And that's going to be way worth more than the money that it'll bring in. And I think it won't perform quite as well as the beginning if they do have a sequel for this. She credits her director, Greta Gerwig, for the film's singular, impactful narrative and the potential of repeating Barbie's success. And this is exactly what I said is unlikely by insiders. I expect the second one will do like half of what this one did because there was a storm in a bottle going on right here with perfect marketing going on at the perfect timing when there was like nothing else out that was, even remotely appealing to watch for people out there. And that's what it is. So here it is. We didn't build it to be a trilogy or something. It was like Greta put everything into this movie. I can't imagine what would be next. And I think that's going to be the main problem they have. And I think with the Hollywood writers that we have with everything, they're not going to craft a decent script that Margot Robbie's going to want to put her name and her face on at this point because she's a billion-dollar actress. She can get whatever gig she wants coming out of this. So why would she then tarnish that by putting herself in a poor sequel? You saw this with, what's her name? Rey from Star Wars, right? Most people kind of like The Force Awakens. Don't leave a hate comment. They did. And it was okay as a start. It was a rehash of A New Hope, and people were thinking, this actress, we don't mind her that much. But then you go into The Last Jedi with a terrible script, terrible director, and all that, and it just kills everything. It makes you look terrible. And so she doesn't really get the gigs, the high-profile gigs that you might have thought coming out of this. And that's the danger here. If there's a Barbie 2 that's a disaster, Margot Robbie doesn't want to be a part of it because it's so high-profile. It could absolutely turn her into box office poison. All right, leave a comment down below with what you think about this. Hit that like and subscribe button. We'll be back soon.